going to dinners. He's been going to, free steak dinners and all these little taco spots. And the night and the fight, he'll lose the weight. He'll get down when training camp starts. He'll be ready to roll.
Greetings and salutations, and welcome to the Odd Coaches podcast. I am your host, Dr. Keith Adams, and with me today is my tag team partner, the Steve Austin, to my Triple H at Backlash 2001, Coach Mike Francis. And Coach, how you doing, man? Backlash is coming up in Puerto Rico. Will AJ be in the islands?
I have no clue. Oh, yeah. I have no clue. Good morning.
All right, and fans, joining us for our special mock NFL draft is Captain for Life, Will Cotton. Will, thanks for sneaking us in on this taping. This ought to be fun, sir.
Oh, it's going to be good. It's going to be good.
All right, so fans, Mike wanted to do a mock draft, and if my partner wants to do a mock draft, well, gosh darn it, the Odd Coaches will do a mock draft, but we're going to do it Odd Coaches style. It is strictly for entertainment purposes only. We looked at a number of different mock drafts, media reports, team needs. But hey, we're going to tell you who we think they should get, whether they like it or not. So some quick draft thoughts. It's a thin draft, nothing to get overly excited about. Here are the names you should listen for Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. There are going to be some trades, but we don't care. And we hope your team evaluates well. So Mike will pick one. Will pick two, and I will pick three, and then we will continue to rotate. So, Mike, with the first pick, who should Carolina take, or who will Carolina take? The floor is yours, my friend.
With the number one pick, Carolina Panthers select with longevity and a bigger sample size, Bryce Young from the University of Alabama. Though I don't think you can go wrong with him or Hendon Hooker or the kid from Florida. I would take any of those three over the Ohio State guy. So I'll go with Bryce Young because of he's had a longer career. He has more. He's shown us more.
All right. So Vegas thinks you're right, Coach. So there's no fighting with Bryce Young because it's all over the place. So we gave you the scoop on Tuesday that he's going to be the number one pick, barring anything ridiculous. All right. Well, here's where the fun starts because we've heard all types of things with the Houston Texans, but who are you selecting with the number two pick?
Man, a team that is going nowhere, anywhere, is going nowhere fast, or they're not going to be good for a long time. Why not build with the kid from Anderson, the edge rusher from Alabama?
All right. So Will Anderson Jr. will be your pick. And some of the draft analysts think that the Texans may pick a quarterback, but that should be interesting. And the quarterback, some draft analysts think it's either C.J. Stroud or Will Levis. So don't be surprised, fans, if the Texans say, hey, we're going to just, I forgot the kid. I think it's Davis Mills, and he's not bad, but, Okay.
They've had a lot of bad relationships with quarterbacks the last couple of years. Obviously Watson and then Mills. They've just, it's like a bad rocky relationship. They just need to focus and say, look, let's get better everywhere else.
Yes,
and then let's
start with the line.
Yeah.
All right. So with the third pick, the Arizona Cardinals will select Tyree Wilson, edge rusher from Texas Tech. I'm going to go with CBS Sports. Arizona has invested in their quarterback, much to my chagrin, but whatever. So I'm going to be safe. And as my tag team partner said, I'm going to be able to pressure the quarterback. Okay. So now, Mike, you are 4. The rumors are rampant all over the place. There are quarterbacks available for Indianapolis. Where are you going, sir?
Now I'm going back up top to the quarterback position. I know if you see a lot of mock drafts, you see a lot of people take C.J. Stroud. Me, you know how I am with the Ohio State bias, UCLA bias, Michigan bias. I am going to go with Hendon Hooker for him too.
Wow.
Okay.
Okay, fan, don't put any money on that. That will not happen. But my partner is a big fan of Hendon Hooker, and so am I. So there's no need to even make the note. But Hendon Hooker is off the board, even though he will still be on the board. But he's probably going to be a better pro. I think
That's
so.
me.
I think so. All right. So now, Will, with Seattle, a lot of rumors. I'll put them on the screen for you. But which direction are you going, sir?
Man, Seattle is a real surprise because they were actually good last year. So this is kind of a present for them. Again, if you're going to build sustainability, I got to go with Jalen Carter. I think he's going to, at least lock down that defense more. And I think if you're going to go with offense, I mean, go get some guys in free agency. Get some guys like that who can already run, because don't miss this kid. This kid can ball. This can ball.
Yeah. As Mike said a couple of weeks ago when we were talking about his legal issues. Yeah, okay. But is he still 6'3"? But Mike, he came in to the combine workout overweight. I saw that tape last year. And I'm good.
Yep. He's going to dinners. He's been going to free steak dinners and all these little taco spots, and the night and the fight. He'll lose the weight. He'll get down when training camp starts. He'll be ready to roll.
Yep.
All right, so I've got the 6th pick, and I'm with the Detroit Lions. And let's just say you need some secondary help after last week. So I'm going to go with Davon Witherspoon, cornerback from Illinois, and I'm going to give him a stern talking to about gambling. So that's the direction I'm going in.
Man, don't bring your phone to the arena, man. Stop it.
Just leave that.
Yo, we're going no cell phone policy if I'm Detroit Lions.
All right, so Mike, you are the Raiders. Hey, Chris, how you doing, buddy? What direction are you going in with the Raiders, sir?
Raiders need to build from inside out, starting with the line. I think they need to improve. So I say Peter Skoronski is like one of the top 3 tackles rated so far in the draft. So I would say Peter Skoronski.
Yes, and you better protect that investment you just made in the quarterback position. So,
which is
Jimmy G, baby. Jimmy G.
I forgot.
You got to protect him. He's been injured on occasion. All right. So, Will, the Atlanta Falcons. There have been talk, fans, that the Atlanta Falcons are going to swing for the fence. So I'm curious to see which direction Will go in. What are you thinking about, Will?
I think they're going to go with Anthony Richardson. I used to watch him a lot. I was a big Florida fan. But I don't think they should, because they need a guy who can play now, and he's not a kid who's ready to play now. All the scouts and saying like he's going to be good if he gets in the right system. I would hope they would take the kid from Oregon, the cornerback. I think that's what you can use. Lock down the defense. But hey, at the end of the day, you got to sell tickets, right? So if they get somebody hyped about this kid who has a great arm, he's athletic. I just don't think they have the structure to kind of build up with Richardson right now. So
but you think they're going to take Richardson?
I think they'll take Richardson.
Okay, so Richardson is off the board. So 9, Chicago Bears. Shout out Cook. Marie Cook, my Chicago Bears fan. I am going to be extremely conservative. I'm going to pick Drew Sanders, linebacker out of Arkansas, and hope that the Bears try to just, as you guys said, build around, get some pieces in place, and then kind of fill in from there. So, Mike, we're with you at 10, my friend.
Philadelphia Eagles. It's hard to see where they have to improve with their recent signings and developments of players. I might think at that time now, let's get a backup for our quarterback. So earlier I picked
Hendon Hooker.
I picked Hendon Hooker up earlier. For me now, this is where CJ Stroud falls with the Philadelphia Eagles as a backup.
All right. So we're gonna go 11. Tennessee Titans. What we got?
Let's go with Osiris Torrance. They're about they're one. They got 1 foot in the grave, so they just start rebuilding now. So take them the O lineman.
Stop. Yo.
They are. They're talking. Anytime they start talking about trading Derrick Henry, you got Tannehill's probably not going to come back. They lost a lot of They lost a lot of guys. They're getting ready to reset. It's coming, but it doesn't have to be as bad.
Is Tannehill not coming back a bad thing? I'm trying
hey, you got Malik Willis. I mean, the kid's not great. I mean, he made some plays, but I think they want to see what he can do. So,
okay.
And plus, money thing and that kind of thing. So business, I get it.
All right. So with the Texans, they caused me pause. But I think if this kid's available, they're going to take him. So I'm going to go wide receiver with Jackson Smith-Njigba from Ohio State for the Texans because he's on one of the mock draft boards. And I kind of think this kid's going to be there. So that's where I'm going to go. So franchise, you've got the New York Jets at 13. What are you thinking?
Matt Bergeron, offensive tackle, Syracuse.
Yeah, you need to protect Aaron Rodgers if that's who's coming.
If he's coming, this just played out too long.
All right, Will, 14, the New England Patriots. Start to pack your bags, folks. It's almost over. It's not over yet, but we're getting to the end of the movie.
Yeah, if they don't trade that pick, which they notoriously always do something by trade
and
down,
go back. Yep.
Yeah. But if they don't, why not go to Darnell Wright? I know that team. Hey, again, if you're gonna save this Matt Jones, this kid, if he can ball or see something, at least put some guys around him. Yes. But it's hard. I mean, if you're gonna run the ball like they did, then you might as well get a good offensive lineman. So let's go with Darnell.
All right. So at 15, Packers got a lot of problems, man. They do. But
where do you start?
I am going to, and this, blame Coach Franchise for this. I'm going to go tight end, Dalton Kincaid, because Coach Franchise keeps telling me week after week, tight end is quarterback's best friend. And if you ain't got no line, you got to look at him first. So
real quick,
Dalton Kincaid out of Utah. So with that, fans, we're going to take a quick pause. And in segment 2, we're going to do the rest of the first round of the NFL draft. Having fun with this. We'll be right back on the Odd Coaches Podcast.
The high school and college academic and athletic landscape is changing. The growing number of college transfers, as well as student athletes being able to profit off the use of their name, image, and likeness, has given student athletes the freedom and power to make life-changing decisions. That is why it is important for student athletes to be properly informed throughout the decision-making process. The difference between success and failure is often measured not by yards, but by inches, and even the most successful coaches and players use outside independent consultants to help improve their decision-making, which improves their results. That is what the CKA Save Project would like to do for student athletes across the country, improve their academic and athletic results. Our academic and athletic consulting services assist student athletes with the college decision-making process. The CKA team of former high school and college coaches can provide student athletes an independent assessment of their academic and athletic skills to assist student athletes in their college decision-making process. Let the CKA team evaluate your academic and athletic ability to assist you in finding the right fit for your academic and athletic career. For more information, visit us on the web at www.ckasaveproject.org or schedule a free virtual consultation with Dr. Keith Adams by email at cka@ckasaveproject.org.
Welcome back to the Odd Coaches Podcast. In segment 2, we're going to continue on. And this wasn't done on purpose, fans, but this ought to be interesting. Mike, I believe you've got the 16th pick, and it's the Washington Commanders.
God, how did that happen?
We created this in a group chat, and I just said, man, give my man the first pick. Will, if you're coming, you get the second pick, and we'll just keep it going. So again, this was not even making. We don't even know who's. I'm looking at the screen. So, Mike, who are the Commanders picking with all of it? Now, I have an idea what they're going to pick, and I think you're going to probably go that way. But let's see where you go, sir.
Gotta go defense. Gotta go. You know, the biggest thing they've been having failure after failure with quarterbacks recently. They built up that front seven. It's pretty good. You know, even though I am a Cowboy fan, so I'll take the local kid right down the street, University of Maryland, Dante Banks, University of Maryland cornerback.
All right.
Snyder's gonna take a punter, right?
Snyder is gone. He's not making any decision.
He's gonna sabotage.
Yes.
Take a punter.
Yes. He's gonna take a punter in the first round.
Yep.
The big screw you on the way out.
Yeah, that's how you're gonna do it. Yeah.
All right, Cotton Man, 17, Pittsburgh Steelers. What's up, D Skippy? How we doing? What you got, sir?
Man, they have great offense. I mean, they have weapons everywhere. You know, the defense is not too bad. You know, they got Fitzpatrick, and you know they got pretty good solid on the D line. But again, you know, it could always get better. But I think, you know, if I was going to take them, I'm going to take Broderick Jones. I'm sorry, from OT from Georgia. You know, you got to protect the kid. You know, they don't have the best O-line. And, you know, if you have a guy who's going to be Najee Harris, you could use a big hog like that. So, I mean, he's going to help two people that you actually really need to succeed to win for that offense. So, yeah, definitely go with that kid.
That's a 10-year signing right there. That would be good. So I am 18. I am the Detroit Lions. And I am going Bijan Robinson, because that guy can play. Screw this first round stuff. I'm only going to have a running back for 5 years anyway. So let's get them while they're cheap and go on and run that thing, man. Go on and run that thing.
I love it,
bro.
I love it.
He tough.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, it's tough to go. It's tough, you know. It's tough to go top 5. I mean, he's such a luxury pick, you know. But the Lions, man, that's a good pick for them.
All right, franchise. Rent, don't own, baby. So our fans know when we say that, we're talking about the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, because their coaching staff is on borrowed time. Oh, who are you going to get to try to save my boy?
I'm going to go with Darnell Wright. He is the the offensive tackle for Tennessee. I'm going to go with left tackle from Tennessee. I'm going to stay in the SEC when it comes to building my linemen. So we definitely need that. Darnell Wright, University of Tennessee.
All right. Rent, don't own. Okay. Will, 20, Seattle Seahawks.
Man, if it was me, I'm trading down. I mean, I would get some more picks because, you know, I've got to sustain. But if I'm going to take the pick, let's go with Zay Flowers. I mean, the receiver from Boston College. You know, the kid's got he can fly, you know. And hey, if you're gonna have, if that's what your offense is, just going down the field, and there's no pressure because you have two guys who are dogs, Lockett and you know, Big Strong. I forgot his name, but you know what I'm talking about. DK Metcalf. Yeah, that guy. So yeah, he could be a sneaky fantasy guy if he can really fight his right. If he can find the right spot and succeed. So I think it's a good spot. And Seattle's a great organization. So
yes, Mike talks about them often. All right. So I got 21 and I got the Los Angeles Chargers. And I'm going to go with Jordan Addison. If he's still available at 21, Justin Herbert needs some people to throw to. So we're going to go there. And Mike, this is where I thought your boy would go. You've already taken him off the board. So for number 22, the Baltimore Ravens, I actually hope the Baltimore Ravens select Hendon Hooker, myself personally, if he's available, because this is the business. But since you've already taken him off the board, what direction are you going to go, sir? Maybe pick up one of these wideouts? I don't know.
I am going to go with Jalen Hyatt, wide receiver at Tennessee. He was like the number one target for Hendon Hooker. this year. So I definitely would move him up. They need another receiver.
Another.
Yeah, they do. They never
They
had
need
him.
three.
Yeah, like they still too short.
Okay. All
And I ain't
right.
talking about the rapper.
Oh my goodness. All right. Will at number 23, the bank robber himself, Kirk Cousins. What are you going to do to help him out?
Man, I think offense, they're good. They're going to keep riding what they got. I think they're going to bring up that kid, Ade Tomiwia, Ade Adebayor.
All right, defensive line.
From Northwestern.
Yes.
Yeah.
And Will and I are smiling more. Shout out to Ade, one of our former players. Doing well, I hope.
Yep.
All right, so I got Jacksonville, and I like Jacksonville, and this kid's still on the board for some reason, so I'm going to go Joey Porter Jr., cornerback from Penn State, because I actually don't think he's going to be on the board this late. But if he is, Jacksonville should snatch him up. So at 25, Mike, you got the New York Giants. Mr. King will be listening to your pick. Who are you going with, sir?
New York Giants trying to build right now. I start with the again, we talk about inside out. I go with Joe Tippmann, center from Wisconsin.
Yeah. And many reports say that is a possibility. All right. Sorry, Mike. Will's got 26. Will, 26 is the Dallas Cowboys.
I'm glad.
I love I love this kid, Cody Mauch from North Dakota State.
North Dakota, man. I was your social study teacher, but I taught you modern world.
North
world
Dakota
history.
State. I apologize for all my North Dakotans.
North Dakotans.
That kid, man, he plays the violin. He's very smart. He knows what he's doing. I think that kid could really hunker down as the quarterback of the line at some point for Dallas down the line. And they started to get younger. Tyrod's obviously he's hurt all the time. Start building that line. And that kid, man, I mean, I think at that spot, I think you guys can get a great gem. That kid can ball.
All right. So for me now, I'm Buffalo. And I am going to, being partial to North Carolina football, I'm going to pick Josh Downs for the Buffalo Bills and provide some additional receiving help. So, Mike, number 28, Cincinnati. Hey, I'm going with the mock drafts and the reports. So, Mike, 28, Cincinnati Bengals. What do we have?
We're going offensive tackle Anton Harris out of Oklahoma.
Yes, Joe you can't throw on your back.
He's been getting his ass whooped for 2 years now.
Can't throw up. Okay. Real funny jokes because they're true, fans. They're true. Can't throw on your back. All right. Will, pick 29, the New Orleans Saints. I don't know what they're doing, so good luck.
I don't know what they're doing either. So let's go with Miles Murphy from Clemson. Got an edge rusher.
All right.
Can't never go wrong with the edge rusher.
Can't go wrong. Can't go wrong. I don't know what they're doing. So.
They'll find a way.
All right. I have pick number 30, the Philadelphia Eagles. And I know they're hoping that some of these players are still available. But I'm going to go with everybody else. I'm going to take edge rusher Will McDonald IV from Iowa State because we need pressure. So, and Mike, you have the last pick, the Kansas City Chiefs at 31 in our first mock draft. What are you thinking, sir?
I am thinking Cedric Tillman, 6'3", 213 wide receiver from Tennessee. He's big, gives a bigger target. Patrick Mahomes did pretty good without having that big guy anyway. But I think if you get the guy in, they develop some trust. I think that's only going to make them better. And again, he's an SEC football player. I'm partial to SEC football.
Yeah, they play football there.
Yeah, they real football.
All right, so fans, in segment 3, when we come back, and I'm glad I have our sports book expert, Will Cotton, with us. We're going to talk about the NFL and their policies and how their players are kind of still not reading the memo. We'll be right back on the Odd Coaches Podcast.
Why should student athletes use the CKA SAVE Project academic and athletic consulting services? Over the past 15 to 20 years, colleges, universities, professional sports teams, business organizations, and others have increased their use of consulting services to improve their decision-making processes and results. Over the same time, the athletic and academic landscape has changed for high school and college student athletes as the NCAA has raised initial academic eligibility requirements for student athletes while decreasing the number of transfer restrictions. Former college student athletes have noted that they were academic and athletically unprepared for the rigors of college. Let the CKA SAVE Project's close to 30 years of academic and athletic experience help guide student athletes to increase success as we work to help student athletes achieve the goal of obtaining a college degree. For more information, contact Dr. Keith Adams by email at cka@ckasaveproject.org.
Welcome back to the Odd Coaches Podcast in segment 3. Fellas, what are we doing? 4 Lions players, including 2022 first-round pick Jameson Williams, were among 5 players league-wide suspended for violating the NFL's gambling policy after an investigation. Lions wide receiver, and I don't know who got cut, so y'all might know who got cut as I'm doing this. Quintez Cephas. Safety C.J. Moore has been suspended indefinitely, as was Washington Commanders defensive end Shaka Toney. They can reapply for a reinstatement after 1 year, although Detroit announced that, its 2 players have been released. Okay. Second-year wide receiver Williams and Stanley Berryhill are suspended 6 games each for mobile betting that occurred at the Lions facility. The NFL noted in its announcement that it uncovered no evidence indicating any inside information was used. Separate punishments for Lions staff members, and they were dismissed. So you lost your job for this. Please don't have this dude speak for me before you guys respond. Williams' representation, Alliance Sports, released a statement apologizing on behalf of the wide receiver. Jameson takes full responsibility for his actions and is very apologetic to the NFL, his teammates, and the fans in the city of Detroit. However, it's important to note that Jameson's violation was not for betting on football, but rather due to a technical rule regarding the actual location in which the online bet was placed and which would otherwise be allowed by the NFL outside the club facility. Jameson would never intentionally jeopardize the integrity of the game he loves so much and looks forward to getting back to his team as soon as possible. Will, I'm going to start with you because you're my compliance guy. What do you think about all of this going on? And please don't have that guy speak for me.
Oh, no, I love that the NFL is coming down with the hammer. I mean, they are not playing games. They have a lot of money that's invested with their leagues and with DraftKings and FanDuel and billions of dollars. And the last thing you want is integrity. You know, if you want that integrity compromised. So yeah, come down hard, man. Come down hard. If you want to be stupid and you want, it's a mistake. And trust me, with internet and IP and connecting and figure out who's doing what on what device. I mean, it's not a question. It's not a question. So just put, hey, look, if you're gambling and you're at a spot you shouldn't be, if you're not at your house, even then it's still, I mean, why? You know, if you're in the NFL, I mean, I get it, but it's too much it's too much for them to actually create the policy for other things. So just say, look, if you're gambling, you're suspended. And if it's really bad, then you're just suspended for the year. So good for the NFL. Way to jump on it. No sugarcoat it. Suspend them. Guys are stupid. I don't know why. They know what the rules are. They know it. You know, so why do it? Why even test it? You know, and that's none of them tried to appeal. They all were like, "Well, I guess." They'll appeal for domestic abuse or domestic violence. They'll take for that. But they were like, "All right, well, we got it." So good for the NFL. I hope I hope that stuff doesn't continue. I hope that scares guys. But yeah, it was good for the NFL by suspending.
All right, franchise, go ahead and chime in.
You think leading into all this gambling and all this thing coming on, they didn't have like a symposium and conference when they told them about this? Like, you would think they didn't, but we know they have. So it's really upsetting to see that they continue to do this when it's like, it's illegal to do it on the football campus. Like, what you do at home is one thing. What you do, and if it ain't football, it's even stupid. That statement was the stupidest thing I ever heard.
Please don't speak for me.
Oh, he wasn't gambling on football. All right, dude, go. Why don't you represent Pete Rose? I mean, I don't know what the hell is this all about. This guy, it makes no sense. So if it's me, if I'm the NFL, kudos for doing what they did. These guys should know better. I mean, not that we want to see anybody lose money because we GTB around here.
Get the bag.
But
don't lose the bag. We say get the bag. Don't lose the bag.
No,
It's
don't
not
give.
lose the bag.
They
So-
giving the bag. They think GVT
Give back the bag.
Yeah, we ain't giving back the bag.
All right. So, Will, I've got to ask you because this is the thing I hear most of all. The NFL has contracts with this. There's gambling all over the arena. This is really petty. Can you kind of explain to our audience what a collective bargain agreement contract is and the fact that there's signage in every NFL locker room that's as big as the state?
Say, dumbass, don't bet.
Can you talk about that, Will?
Yeah, I mean, if you're talking about just the compliance and the branding, I mean, that has nothing to do with anything. I mean, there has to be responsibility. There has to be policies. Same thing. They have sponsors with Casamigos, it's tequila. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, they're not telling like, hey, kids, go get Casamigos. It's like, no, if you're old enough and you're competent and you're going to do it, go do what you got to do. But, nobody likes accountability. Nobody likes to say, everybody wants to be able to do everything when they want to do, whenever they want to do it. So they have a problem with that. So any kind of policy or rule that's put in place to save the integrity, it's like, look, guys, you guys want to have fun with your betting? Great. There has to be rules. Like, well, no. Well, I'm sorry. But if everybody's upset, it means it's good policy. So that's the rule. Everybody upset.
All right, moving forward, Mike, Dallas. The Dallas Cowboys have been making some moves, sir. So they picked up the 5th-year option on CeeDee Lamb. They'd like to lock him into a long-term deal. So because Lamb was selected in the Pro Bowl, his salary is going to be a little higher. You also have Trayvon Diggs' contract coming up. One, Mike, are you pleased that they picked up the option on CeeDee Lamb? And two, are you nervous that they're kind of rolling the dice on Diggs with possibly franchising him after the season? What do you think, sir?
Just normal business things for the Dallas Cowboys. Great idea to take that option for CeeDee Lamb. Not sure why. Well, franchising Trayvon, I think that's a good idea because first of all, you can't pay both of them. Then you went out and paid Dak everything. You gave Dak the whole store. So somebody's got to, take the different approach, unfortunately. And this is the business aspect of it. Probably the first move that Dallas has made in about 20 years that I totally agree with from top to bottom. I can't find a flaw in this decisions the last couple of weeks.
Yeah, they kind of kicked the can down the road with Trayvon. He's good for this year, but I can see us at the end of this season saying, okay, we got a problem.
But again, I thought isn't the contract coming up soon? Like,
yeah, and they can do something before the end of the year.
Right.
But again, they just kind of kicked the can down the road saying, okay, CD, we're good. Now
But rumor has it they're gonna increase the what's the name too? The salary cap.
Yeah.
So increasing the salary cap allows you to sign CD. You can tell them, look, as soon as we get this going, you're gonna be the first one we come back to. All right.
Yeah.
All right. So, Mike, I'm staying with you. Grass versus turf. Non-contact injuries for NFL players occurred at a higher rate on artificial turf
Yes.
compared to grass during the 2022 season, according to data released by the NFLPA. That's the Players Association fans. The gap arose 1 year after the league moved to neutralize the debate about the two types of surfaces. Players have long said they prefer to play on artificial turf, but longitudinal data says it really doesn't have that much of an impact. And last year was what we call a outlier. Mike, it's the NFL. It's not college. It's not high school. What do you think about the grass versus turf debate?
I would love grass. That's just, to me, grass is it's a natural surface. The problem is, weather-wise, trying to keep it good. It's less manageable as turf. Turf, good God Almighty! As long as ain't nobody playing in that old Philly stadium, we should be all right for as turf. But look at the Bears. The Bears got grass, right? Still, Chicago had grass forever, right?
Yeah, they hate it out there. They hate it.
Yeah.
I got friends who are like, they always talking about the field. They hate it.
But I mean, grass to me is like, if I'm choosing and I could manage it, financially, of course, these guys are going to do what they can to save money. But I just like grass. You can't get better than grass. It's that smell when you hit that field. Like you have some of those things you never forget. I could just remember going out there that Saturday morning, them first Sundays and Friday nights. You step on that dew and that smell and it's glistening. Like you don't get that. You don't get that no more.
Yeah, but you're
grass
in a dome and you got to remove you got multi-use and you got the Bruce Springsteen concert and you got all of this going on.
Yes.
How can you do it? And again, the NFL is about making money. So there's a lot of synthetic turfs out there. They're looking at longitudinal data. Will, what do you think? Grass versus turf? Because you're my money guy too. And these are multi-use stadiums. Because NFL fans, you got 10 games if you're lucky a year.
Yeah.
So you got these monumental buildings. And you just gonna leave the grass out there? I don't know. Talk to me, Will.
It's difficult. It's difficult. I hope the NFL actually listens to the players, though. Just like if you guys remember when they changed the basketball NBA, and the guys were saying, "Oh, well, I'm cutting my hands on the basketball and I'm not liking the shots." And the NBA said, "Yep." And NBA was like, "We're getting rid of that shit." Excuse me, I'm sorry. They said we're getting rid of this. Let's get rid of this right now. So and it works. Listen to the players, man. I mean, that's sometimes where it's like, look, if we're talking about saving players and stopping them from being injured, invest in that. If you're gonna give a guy $200 million, why not take care of the grass he plays on? So I'm just saying. So if the guys are saying, I mean, it may not be every stadium. Obviously, they have to make their own decision. But if you have your quarterback, if you have running back, and all your offensive line are like, hey man, we need this. They should provide that. And that's what they got to do. But you have cheap owners.
Yes, I agree with you, Will. And as a former athletic director, we cried for turf.
Yeah.
Why? Because I've got lacrosse, I've got soccer, I've got field hockey. And if it rains, I am held hostage with the schedule. And we're going back to back. And we've got all of these different things. And because we have turf fields, we're able to do it. But then wait for it. Across the country, we're being cheap about the type of turf we use. And now they're talking about cancer-causing materials. And they're like, oh, can't win. Hey, you can't win, Rock. You can't win.
I remember the one they put in at Gonzaga, AJ's junior year. They didn't end up getting to play on it. They put it in his sophomore year, started playing his junior year. It was horrible. Stopped playing there.
With the black pellets. I think that had the black pellets.
Oh, yeah.
The things you remember as an athletic director.
Right.
All right. So fans, we're going to finish the show off making fun of my part. So Mike, the Buffalo Bills have signed kicker Tyler Bass to a 4-year contract extension that keeps him with the team until the 2027 season. The deal is worth up to, wait for it, $21 million with $12.3 million guaranteed, according to sources. Bass is 26, and he was going into the final year of his rookie deal. Yes, we're talking about the kicker. And he would have hit free agency in 2024. The deal will make him the fourth highest paid kicker in average annual value. He came from Georgia Southern. He was drafted in the 6th round of the 2020 draft and has been the Bills kicker in every game, making 85.6% of his career kicks and 97.5% of his PATs. The Bills have consistency at holder as well because they re-signed their punter, Sam Martin, to a 3-year deal this offseason. Mike, give me your football insight and analysis on Buffalo securing their kicker and punter for the next 4 years to almost close out the decade, sir. What say you?
We could play. They got more guaranteed money than Lamar Jackson.
Actually, they
Come
do.
on, man. They do. I mean,
Actually,
let's
they
be honest. The kickers got more guaranteed money than Lamar Jackson, man.
Ouch.
I think that's crazy. I think it's real crazy right now. I really do. I really do think you would do long term and secure your kicker and punter like that. But hey, when the prices go up, I guess it keeps you from going out in the street and paying them, like overpaying maybe. I don't know. I just don't. I couldn't see that. It's a lot of things I would do long term, but I couldn't do that.
Invested 4 years in your kicker is not one of them, Mike.
I can't believe that. I can't believe that.
Will, you're the everyman today. What do you think about that investment with the kicker? Does that make him prime fantasy football?
Prime fantasy football.
Are we doing prop bets with the Buffalo kicker now? What do you think, sir?
I mean, at the end of the day, if any player who comes into the Bills office, I'm saying, yo, you paid that punter all this money, so now you need to pay me. And that just puts out the whole foundation. Like, everybody's going to come in and say, look, you gave Tyler Bass X amount of dollars. I had, 5, 10 touchdowns or or blocks, pancakes, whatever I had. You know what I'm saying? I can go back and say, look, you paid that punter, you're going to pay me. And now you're going, but I mean, it's the immense of riches that they have right now. If you're paying for the punter and the kicker, you're like a kid with too much money. Buying stuff that you like, man, I'm gonna go ahead and buy 5 pairs of sneakers. It's like, yeah, dude, but you don't need to. Why not get some pants? Why not get some, why not get some shirts? Like, nope, they going straight. They going all
get some shirts.
Yeah, I'm like, you why are you? I don't know. I wouldn't do stuff like that. I mean,
$85 for a shirt. You better be on stage with your 4 brothers.
Yeah,
exactly.
This ain't Nipsey Hussle prices. These Nipsey Hussle prices.
Man, I don't know. I mean, he must be a good guy. He must be great in the community. They must love him. They must have a fan.
Man, Justin Tucker ain't make that much. And he probably the best kicker there's been in years.
All right. But
then again, it's Baltimore.
There's a reason why Buffalo doesn't have a Super Bowl. So they're doing stuff.
Because they
like
paying
this.
money for punters and kickers.
Maybe I don't know. No shots.
All right.
New York, I love you guys.
Fans, this was absolutely fun. So on behalf of my tag team partner, Coach Mike Francis, and our special guest, Captain for Life, Will Cotton, I am Dr. Keith Adams, saying thank you for listening and for watching the iCoaches podcast. And we will see you on the sidelines. Till next time, take care.
The iCoaches podcast is sponsored by the CKA Save Project. The CKA Save Project is an industry leader in providing student-athlete academic and athletic support. From assessing student-athletes' academic and athletic skills, to measuring and monitoring student-athlete academic progress, to improving student-athlete time management and organizational skills, the CKA Save Project provides wraparound services for student-athletes from middle school through college. For more information, visit us on the web at www.ckasaveproject.org or schedule a free consultation with Dr. Keith Adams by emailing cka@ckasaveproject.org. We hope you enjoyed today's show. The iCoaches podcast drops new episodes every Tuesday through Friday on most weeks. Make sure you subscribe to the iCoaches podcast on Apple Music, iHeartRadio, Podbean, Spotify, and YouTube. Follow the iCoaches podcast on Twitter and Instagram at iCoaches. Follow Dr. Adams on Twitter and Instagram at CKA Save Project. In addition, follow Coach Mike Francis on Twitter and Instagram at Coach Franchise, spelled Coach Franchize. For more information about the CKA Save Project, please visit them on the web at www.ckasaveproject.org. See you next time on the Odd Coaches Podcast.